Hello, beautiful human. Hi. Howdy, hello. I do believe I am live once again. It's day 3 of my 10-day reset and still keeping up with my everyday lives. And yeah, I did not pre-think about what I was going to talk about other than this reset. And that is my intention with this reset and these lives is to share my experience along the way. So, as I mentioned, it's day 3. And when I first started, I didn't really have a definitive framework for what I was going to do. I just knew I was sick of my shit and I needed to spend some time diving into, what can I do to shift myself, get myself more aligned, more on track with the path that I'm intending to be on, wanting to be on as I wrap up 2025 and enter 2026 with this so much new era energy. I put these flowers over here so that they would show up, and I'm about to knock them over. And I have trapped my poor puppy, who I can let him get out. Oh, it's the mama dog wants to come in, the other dog wants to come out. Living the dog life around here, as you can see. What happened on day 2 was that I started to make a shadow mandala, which I have since then developed into a cute little ebook and a whole process because I didn't even know that Carl Jung, who was the first one to introduce us to the concept of archetypes in our subconscious. I did not know that he used to use mandalas, but I naturally put the two together as I was working with this shadow work assignment for myself. And I've spent more than a year. I've been a part of a mandala group where a woman in Scotland gives us these lovely courses like once a month or so. And I almost never catch all of them, but I've caught lots of parts of lots of them. And so that influence has, that has been influencing my artwork in little subtle ways. And I've come to understand from her influence that mandalas are a great way of exploring things. It's just one of many frameworks, but it's a pleasing framework. It's usually circular, and humans have been using mandalas in all sorts of forms for a long time. There's usually some symmetry, geometry to the mandala. It's usually circular. Again, all rules that can be broken, however. So I like mandalas a lot, and I do a lot of shadow work. And so, but this is the first time that I've put them together. And as soon as I did, I was like, oh, this is a very natural fit. I started building a little ebook that I could use to help guide some of my clients. And in researching for that, I found that, oh, lo and behold, Carl Jung was using mandalas with his archetypes long ago. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But day 1, so I broke down first 9, which took me a really long time to make this 9 quadrant, 9 sectioned circle-ish thing, because it's easy to make like 8 or any division of 4, but it's trickier. It's not that tricky, but I made it trickier than it need to be because that's kind of my thing. And so I'm going to be doing that. And I've just, today's day 2. It's day 3 of my reset, but it's day 2 because I didn't start this till the second day of this mandala project. So on this one, I did 9 sections. And then after working on the book a lot of yesterday, I actually decided that it makes more sense to, for the book, use one that's in 8 sections with a middle section for the 9th optional middle section. But just again, for ease of drawing and creation. So I went ahead and started a second one because that's the kind of person I am anyway. So I'm going to be doing 2 in parallel for examples to put in my book and to share with the community. So far, they're very similar. I tend to like to combine symbols and words a lot. So I'm just, doing whatever I want in here. But the first one was the Two-Face the mask that we wear that's two-faced, and not just like two-faced, like the number two, but two-faced, like in our response to feeling too much or too little or too old or too young or too fat or too skinny or too weak or too strong or too stupid or too smart. All those twos that we get from society, from humanity, from ourselves, from our history, from all sorts of places that result in us changing the face that we present to the world, or how we face the world, or how we let the world see our face. So that was day one, and I have some words, and I can share that with you a little bit. The mask, two-face, that's the only one that's kind of blocked in with ink right now. Today is day 2 of this project and day 3 of my reset, and it is the victim or wound. So I'm working on that one still. And that's this one here. And on this side, I have similar segments for these parts. Later in the mandala, they have some different names. They'll diverge a little bit, but this one so far, it's the same prompts. Where am I being two-faced, and how am I playing the victim? Those are the questions that I'm sitting with today. And shadow work isn't about digging up these questions to shame ourselves or to, feel high and mighty for recognizing what we've seen of our faults. It is instead to look for like the gold nugget, the gift in the shadow, to look for where are we hiding our superpower in that shadow? Where is there opportunity, gift, things that we could explore more, hiding in those parts that we call the shadow, those things that we hide in the subconscious, which are actually the things that are affecting us the most, driving us the most. Our subconscious is like, one bit of science said that the subconscious processes, I think it was 11 million bits per second, and the conscious mind processes 40 to 50 bits per second. So that gives you some idea. There's just this almost unconceivable amount of information coming in that our nervous systems, our bodies, our unconscious or subconscious bodies are taking in and responding to. In fact, there's science that shows that our bodies start to respond maybe as much as 7 seconds before we start to have a thought, make a decision, have a feeling. So we think we're making decisions consciously, but actually our bodies are often making choices quite a bit before we become aware of those sensations, which are, the data that's coming in that's making us want to take certain actions or not take certain actions. There you have a little science-y stuff to go with why and the how. I am developing lots of whys and hows. I've been putting together science-y stuff I put it into my book that you see behind me, The Shift, and that's on Amazon these days. But from that book, which I published last year, I have developed a course called the Human Reboot Protocol. And then right now I have this little offshoot of the Shadow Mandala book, which I'm excited about. And from all of that has developed some communities on school. They're small right now, just a couple few handfuls of people, but I look forward to seeing how that grows in this coming year. I feel like 2026 is a year for taking off our masks, or maybe wearing them more deliberately. It's going to be an interesting year, right? I think, is it the year of the snake? It's a year for healing, a year for, taking off the veil, maybe transcending old forms of ourselves, shedding our old skin and stepping in to the new versions of ourselves. So that's what I'm doing. I'm here sharing that because I feel like hopefully in my sharing it, it gives others permission to do that as well. Not that you need permission from me, but it often helps me when I see other people in their transformational processes and sharing. And so hopefully somehow by my sharing my process, it's helpful to someone out there. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing it because at the very least, it's helping me learn the live stream thing. And that's been one of my intentions. And doing the shadow work is definitely helpful to me. And mandalas combine with shadow work in a very interesting way. Mandalas are not only a great way to explore things symbolically, and as I mentioned, the subconscious sort of speaks more in the symbolic color feeling realm than in the logic realm, or at least I think I mentioned that, should have. And so mandalas, because you're drawing, even if you're using words like I am, there's sort of a drawn word in combination with symbols and pictures, compartmentalized. So there's that aspect. It can be therapeutic. It can be revealing. It can also be a great way to like document, process, it's like a snapshot of where you are in a certain place and time. The woman that I mentioned who I take these mandala courses from, Julie Gibbons, I think is her name. She does mandalas like seasonally. So we might do one over a whole year, one per month. You can do them like I'm doing them right now with different archetypes. You could do them with, I did that one last year for the different types of love. It's really no end, but it's a great like container format structure to work with. And that helps unlock the creative juice that's just waiting to leak out of you. Anyway, there you have it, my share for the day. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to be continuing to share as I go along. If you're interested in my Shadow Mandala book, I'd be happy to send you a beta digital version if you want to give me your email. Eventually it will be published and probably for sale for a very small amount, free in lots of ways in my communities. It's definitely a useful tool. That's why I'm creating it. And so I'm happy to share it in all the ways that I can. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're into. It's Festivus. Today is a Festivus, also known as the holiday for the rest of us, which I started celebrating more than a decade ago before my son was out of high school. And my son is 30 this year, going to become a father next year. So many great changes in the works that I'm excited for. But Festivus, I kind of even stopped celebrating that the last few years. And just this year, I decided, but I want to do some celebrating. And Festivus is still my holiday of choice currently for this holiday season. It used to be Christmas, and I love all the holidays. However you're celebrating this time of year, I hope that it's wonderful and peaceful and everything that you want it to be. I love that there are so many different ways that we humans celebrate this time of year, and I don't think any of them is better than the other. I just think it's about finding, what works for you in your particular stage of life. So I have a silver metal closet pole that I'm going to put up and maybe put a few gifts under. Maybe I'm going to dig out some lights. Mostly I'm going to try to like clean off the table or do something productive that way. That's where I'm at in this phase of life. And it's okay. I've been in other phases and I will be in other phases. Whatever phase you're in, that's okay. It's perfect. Perfectly imperfect is exactly right for right now. Happy Festivus. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. I know I'm missing a bunch of them. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. All of those are coming up. To me, they're all in this big basket of the holiday season. Yay. I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.